All right, so now the next article I want to talk about is the Democrat state senator defends HIV positive man being set free after spitting in a cop's mouth. That's going to be an interesting subject. Before we jump into that one, everyone, please make sure to like this video and share it out on your social medias. And also make sure to follow me on BitChute, on DLive, and on Parler, all at SJG Perspective. Those are some of the main ones that I'm at right now. And so I'd love it if you guys came over and joined me. All right, let's jump into this article. This one says a Democrat state senator defends HIV positive man being set free after spitting in a cop's mouth. Think about that, man. The New York State Senator Julie Salazar, a liberal Democrat. Oh, that's weird. She's liberal. From the Bronx, is glad that an HIV positive man who admitted to spitting in a cop's mouth is being let out on the streets. The Port Authority Police Department is outraged after a judge allowed the suspect to walk without supervision in issuing no cash bail requirements for the individual who was accused of assaulting the officer. Absolutely ridiculous. The number one responsibility of government is to protect the people. Bail reform relinquishes governments of that responsibility. Port Authority PBA President Paul Nunziato said in a statement. He sounds absolutely a little Italian. My police officer was assaulted. He and his family will live a life of worry about the possibility of further harm. History will repeat itself, and hardworking New Yorkers will once again be hostages in their own homes, he added. A Queen judge let the suspect back on the streets despite their admission that they spit in the officer's mouth while knowingly they had the HIV virus. Although HIV cannot be transmitted through saliva, allegedly, but still, do you want to take that chance? They say that, but can we know that for sure, that it can't just be transferred through saliva? I don't know if I'm totally on board with that. I'm not taking any chances. A bloody sore in the individual's mouth could have made it possible for this assault to transmit the often fatal disease to the policeman. Unless you're Magic Johnson and you have tons of money, then you can cure yourself of it. But most people are going to die. New York Senator Julia Salazar went on Twitter to defend the suspect being set free by the judge due to her opposition to cash bail, which she calls wealth-based detention. It's those rich people, man. Wealth-based detention doesn't protect me or any other hypothetical victim of a crime. That is what this is about. No, it's really not. It's about a psycho that knows they have AIDS spitting in another cop's mouth. That's really what this is about. You're making it about this cash bail thing and that you're so happy about that, but that's really not what it's about. What it's about is some dude spitting in another dude's mouth when they know they have HIV and they're not even into it. Some people are probably into that thing, like some of the articles we just read, the dominatrix things and whatnot. Maybe you're into that. Okay, if that's your thing and you're two consenting adults, hey, do what you will. But when you're a cop and some psycho leftist turd fart spits in your mouth, I'm just assuming he's a psycho leftist turd fart, because who else spits in cops' mouths unknowingly, especially when you know you have HIV? Some total POS. That's who. Cash bail should be completely eliminated. If someone is charged with attempting to spit in a cop's mouth, then let a jury decide what to do about it. Or you set bail on this piece of shit because they spit in a cop's mouth, and you let him worry about getting the money to get his freedom, because he didn't have to spit in that cop's mouth. Nobody forced him to spit in that cop's mouth. Nobody forced him to assault an officer, because that is a form of assault. So guess what? He gets bail, and if he gets bail, then he can get out and walk free until his trial, and the jury, and we'll let the jury decide. But until that time, you let him worry about coming up with the money. And if he's a poor son of a bitch that can't afford to get out, well, then I guess he'll have to think twice before he spits in a cop's mouth next time. You sit your happy ass in jail until you can afford to get out. Just my thoughts. New Jersey dismantled the cash bail system in their state under the guise of criminal justice reform. In 2017, NBC New York reported on the chaos and calamity that followed. On January 1st of this year, New Jersey overhauled its criminal justice system and virtually eliminated the old cash bail structure, replacing it with one that relies heavily on mathematical risk assessment formulas. From January 1st through March 31st, 10,193 eligible defendants were processed. Preventative detention was ordered for only 12.4%. Nearly 85% were given pretrial release, some with conditions. Outraged mother June Rogers of Millville blames bail reform for the murder of her son. He was shot to death on the street in Vineland in April after a verbal dispute with a man driving a car. Cops arrested career criminal Jules Black, who'd been picked up on a separate gun charge 4 days before and released with no bail. So now we're taking it up a notch. That this dude had been picked up on a gun charge 4 days prior, and he still wasn't held. And then 4 days later, he gets a bigger gun charge, a homicide gun charge. Had his happy ass stayed in jail, or unhappy ass, whatever, it doesn't matter. If his ass would have stayed in jail, that person would be alive right now. Most likely. The state has created a division of pretrial services to monitor defendants. The funds come from court fees. There have been 173 employees hired so far. The projected spending next fiscal year is expected to be in the range of $36 million to $38 million. The Office of Administrative Courts was unable to provide any statistics on the number of released defendants who have reoffended since January. Well, of course they were. Or the numbers of those who have failed to appear for scheduled court dates. Democrats have created an atmosphere that fosters criminality, and law enforcement is paying the price, thanks to radicalized public officials like Salazar. That is an amen to that, in that they are absolutely right. Sorry, I'm just going to... all right, camera. Oh, it's not... There we go. It's absolutely an amen to that. That's so true. The Democrats, now, even Trump, though, he did some prison reform, which wasn't, I think had some, I was all for it at first because I thought it was low-level crime stuff, and I think it still is. I'd have to look more into it, but I've heard a little bit of stuff about that there was some bad people released out on that, too. And here's the thing. I don't believe low-level little drug charges, marijuana, things like that. I really don't even think you should be earning a ticket for that, or, whatever. You shouldn't be thrown into the slammer on something that's non-violent. But any kind of violent thing you do, it should be appropriate to the level of the violence that it is. But you should be put in jail, and there should be bail set for you. And if you can't make the bail, then you stay in jail. If you can't make the bail, you stay in jail. That'll be my tagline. I just made it up. It's pretty good.